Oh hey, we sense that you're here.
And we're deeply glad that you came.
Hello and welcome back to Sculk Vibes,
A podcast where we talk about Minecraft and other related topics. My name's Diansu, and I'm here looking in the dark with...
Talon, and our first guest of the episode.
Who is the guest?
Say hello, Neko.
Hello everybody, my name is Nekomaster.
Yay! Nekomaster!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Yeah, that meme.
He's layering cheeses on the salami lid.
Indeed I am, I think.
Well, I wanted to ask you first of all, how are you?
I am doing immaculately. How are you doing?
Good.
I'm doing quite well, I'd say. I'm nervous
how are
because
you
it's the
doing,
first
Diansu?
interview.
Well, I can say I didn't fall down the stairs, so that's an achievement.
I'm proud of you, man. I gotta say, I'm pretty nervous too. This is the first time I've ever been interviewed for anything, I believe. Well, that's not true. I did a very silly, fake interview for college in a magazine a long time ago, but
Yeah, I see.
unrelated
Fair.
to current events.
Fair. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we do have one icebreaker question for you. One little fun idly bit of informazione, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Spaghetti informazione!
Informazione!
Feed it to me.
Name one vanilla feature that you're not fond of and how you would improve it or change it.
Ooh. Now, off the top of my head, I could plug a mod that fixes a vanilla feature, if that interests you.
Maybe a little bit.
I'd be for it.
We got some stuff for you
Fair.
to plug shit.
Fair enough. I suppose one vanilla feature I would change. I think it's quite tedious having to jump up individual blocks to kind of move smoothly. Every time I start a strip mine and I'm mining diagonally downwards, always having to lay tons and tons of stairs just to walk smoothly back upwards. I think you should just raise a block when you when you walk up one. I don't think it should be a matter of jumping. There's a lot of jumping in Minecraft.
Could you clarify what you mean by raise a block?
Well, not raise a block so much as it raises your player character. You walk up one block
auto
instead
walk,
of jumping.
I guess?
Yeah, auto
Okay.
walk, basically. Yeah. That is probably one of the most pertinent things I would change about.
So it
Minecraft.
would basically auto jump, but just more smooth. For those who don't know.
Yeah, I've overcomplicated everything already. I'm the worst guest
Damn
I've
it!
ever had.
You're the
I'm
worst
so
one.
sorry. The worst. Oh, we're losing people by the dozens.
I can't believe this.
Oh,
I
no.
can't believe this.
We're bleeding out, hemorrhaging.
We're bleeding out audience members.
So, what got you into Minecraft and modding?
Oh, goodness gracious. So, a long time ago, over a year ago, but less than 3 years ago, I found a little Discord server called Community Revamp. It was a mod server with the goal of making a mod called Community Revamp that would basically survey its members, get qualitative feedback, and change Minecraft depending on what people wanted. It didn't get too far, unfortunately, due to some logistical issues, but in the small time it existed, it added really nice stuff, such as lanterns that you could place on walls. It would make it so that you'd have a custom holding animation when holding torches out. Yeah. And it added a whole new biome. It was similar to Autumnity's full biome. Where, it had maple logs that you could, use a new tool to get the maple out of. Turkeys, brown bears, stuff like that. It was very nice. And that was kind of the impetus for me to get involved in this brainstorming community.
I believe Community Revamp is... I feel like that's still in Minecraft Suggestions Discord or something. Because, there's... Let me look real quick. I feel like at some point, Community Revamp, I've heard of that, was a part of Minecraft Suggestions as, one of their partners or something.
Yeah, Minecraft Suggestions had a bunch of partners, basically, and Infernal Expansion became one of them. before we dropped off.
Hee-hoo.
Yeah, there's not really too much to say about that. Minecraft Suggestions kind of just made like a small kind of hub, basically, to jump between different mod projects. It got archived eventually because of lack of activity, unfortunately, before it fizzled out.
Right.
But I do hope to kind of continue the spirit of Minecraft community revamp by kind of taking some of the suggestions and turning them into mini mods with the help of a friend.
Throw a brick.
You never know, it might be sooner than you think.
Okay, so since I've found out about Infernal Expansion, I've kind of wanted to know, like, how, like, because you've been one of the people of, like, Infernal Studios, basically, to, like,
Yes.
lead projects and whatnot. How did you join, how did you start or, like, join Infernal Studios and the Infernal Expansion?
Yeah. So, Infernal Studios began life as a Discord server called Infernal Divinations, and it was led by someone else whose name escapes me right now. But I joined at a pretty opportune time because they were thinking of shutting the server down, because the original intent was that, kind of like community revamp, they would gather suggestions and then go from there. The goal was to be like a democratic kind of project where, you know, the community was involved. But they were rather indecisive of what direction they wanted to take it in.
Right.
And so I was like, just on a whim, I was like, hey, I'll take the server off your hands. I don't know. It might be fun. And they gave it to me. And then they came back to harass me later to change the name. That wasn't very fun, but it led to the server being rebranded. Yeah, it wasn't cool. But it led to the server being rebranded as Infernal Expansion. And
I'd say
from
it's a
there-
better name.
You know what? I feel
I'd
like
say
that's
it's a better name.
I feel like that's a benefit that. Okay, it might have not been cool for that person to come back and nag at you about changing the name, but changing the name to make it something new and different definitely helps.
Definitely. I have kind of a philosophy in life where it's you can only reach kind of good conclusions by coming to bad ones first. Kind of like a fate sort of thing, where it's like if something bad didn't happen, it may not have led to a good thing happening. And harassment led to the name change, which was a net positive overall in the future. So, yeah, I'm not too upset about that anymore. But, so I started the project as Infernal Expansion. It kind of started life as a brainstorming community, mainly, because we didn't really have the means of making the mod. I mean, I actually started the mod. I registered it under the Nekomaster1000.com domain, before it was later recently changed to Infernal Studios. I started the mod. I was following a code tutorial series on YouTube, and as anyone knows, code tutorials are not very good because they don't actually teach you how to code. They teach you how to copy things. That wasn't very useful. But eventually, via advertising on Reddit, under the Feed the Beast subreddit, we got some help from a fella named Helion, who is still with us today and is probably one of the most active developers.
Hellion,
That's
more
pretty
like
cool.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man! He is the best, honestly.
I gotta go with that.
A lot of the features are like community suggested from what I've seen, which is honestly really cool to see that
Yeah.
interaction between the fan base of the mod, for example, to the mod.
Yeah, so even though I kind of took the Infernal Divinations thing and changed it around, not really intending for it to be like democratically chosen, I sort of intended to direct it. We did end up kind of keeping the spirit of that, where we constantly always have taken like a lot of community feedback, a lot of community suggestions for features to add, where beyond kind of just being an expansion, it's also kind of like a tweaking of the original Never update. We had a lot of quality of life changes amongst new features. One of my favorites being that you can now park Striders on magma, and they'll stay warm on magma blocks, which is really nice.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah. Amongst other things.
I have yet to. I soon want to do a showcase on Infernal Expansion because the new update came out, right? And so
Same.
I thought, that's a great opportunity. It's so much has changed since like the first initial release with just the 5 mobs.
It's been like
Yeah,
6
man.
months.
Oh yeah, it took us like 6 months to get the first release out, because I had never kind of managed a project before, right?
Right.
So I was pretty scatterbrained with it, because we were trying to. The original intent was to get the Glowstone Canyon update out as the first release, but due to the scope of it, we kind of pushed it back. So a lot of the 13 months it took to get to release 2, most of that was dedicated to release 2, even if the first release came out within the first 6 months. Because you can see in the first release we have the glowstone blocks and such, and we had the biome halfway developed. It was halfway there. It just needed a lot of refining. And I'd say the finished result's pretty good.
Honestly, the third update's where it's going to be, where it's at, because of the bug, like a lot of bug fixes and refining is probably going to happen in that one, right?
Yeah. So regarding kind of the updates, Release 1 was honestly a bit of a mistake, because I was sort of pressured into releasing it early, around New Year's of 2021, which I regret, because we got the first 5 mobs out, and everyone loved them. That mod got 1,500,000 downloads on Release 1 alone, which is absolutely bonkers, because it was added to a bunch of amazing mod packs.
Do you think that was a smart decision then?
I wouldn't say it was a smart decision as much as it was a lucky one.
Okay.
Because the first 5 mobs, I still think they are wonderful. I love the Shroomloin, I love the Volain, the Warp Beetle,
Basalt
the Embodied,
Giant,
the
my
Basalt
beloved.
Giant. Oh, Basalt Giant, my beloved. They're all wonderful, but none of them, aside from the Volain, had any drops. And kind of the mechanics for some of them were a little like halfway there. The Embodies didn't really do anything besides be an enemy. In kind of going from Release 1 to Release 2, I really made an effort to step up my game in terms of like game design understanding. So we kind of work by some like design pillars. Unofficially, they're not really written down as much as they are kind of mutually understood beyond everyone. Where it's like, if you're introducing a new mob, it should fulfill like a specific niche, a specific purpose. So, for example, the Embody now in Release 2, instead of before where it was just kind of an enemy to fight and nothing more, now it drops Soul Salt, which you can use to cure zombie flesh into jerky, which you can eat for a speed boost to get you through the Soul Sand Valley easier.
Wait, Soul?
Soul? What did I say?
You said Soul.
Oh, no, sorry, that's my British accent getting in the way.
Oh, my bad.
So, in Release 2, Embodies drop Soul Salt.
Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of frozen, like, gas tears. So they have sort of the same purifying healing property, where you can put them on rotten flesh and turn it into cured jerky, which you can eat for speed.
Okay.
Yeah, and that kind of ties into another principle of Infernal Expansion, where we're trying to make it so that you could kind of persist in there a lot longer in this mod than you could in the original game. So the Glowstone Canyon, its 2 kind of main mobs are the Glowskeeto, which drop Glow Coke, which is a coal alternative.
I still don't get the name Coke.
Coke is another type of fuel before it is a drug.
Oh.
Yeah. Coke is kind of like is the result of. It's similar to charcoal, where you kind of burn up wood and materials like that. That's why it's called that. But yeah, amongst that yes, and we also add very sparse amounts of lapis in the Bastion outposts for enchanting, and you can also get paper in the Nether now by crafting mushrooms together to get paper through their chitin, which is a real-life material. That's where that comes from. And just various other things. The blind sight has a tongue that you can kind of cook into a nice stew for a jump boost. We have the whip, which you can use to kind of keep enemies at bay. It's got an animation on the model by me.
It does look pretty nice.
Yeah, thank you, dude. We made it a lot faster in release 2.1. It's really cool now.
Alright, who works with you on this?
So, funnily enough, your good friend Lux actually is one of the directors of Infernal Expansion alongside me.
Right.
Yeah, she is not too active anymore, but she is a valued kind of asset. She's incredibly good at idea crafting and suggestions. And beyond her, we also have a whole team of brainstormers. People who typically are kind of, okay, let me reiterate that.
You gotta call them like the Storm Chasers or some cool name like that.
They're called our Blaze Knights. We have a bit of an unorthodox method of hiring moderators, where moderators are kind of also like elite brainstormers.
That's amazing.
Power leveling.
That's good.
The smarter you are, the more authority you have, I suppose.
See.
But yeah, a lot of our like more important ideas are really like run through the ringer through our Blaze Knights. We get quality feedback. I think it's worth mentioning that at one point we had like planned 40 mobs or something ridiculous.
40 or 14?
40.
40?
40!
I knew it got bad, but like 40?
Like close to that, if not that. Like I know at least 35 at one point.
Aren't mobs like the most difficult thing to code or to implement through code?
If we're speaking strictly like functionally, then yes, probably.
Okay.
Good lord.
Biomes are pretty like straightforward, all things considered, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Because once they're done, they're done.
Yeah.
I guess you could say like anything. You could say that for anything. Like if you want it to be good, then yes, it's going to take a lot of time and effort. But if you want to like smash it out, which is a lot easier to do for biomes than it is mobs, then yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
40 mobs.
What was
40 mobs?
that's so much.
That's a lot.
A very eager endeavor.
Yeah. The reason we don't have 40 mobs anymore is because after release 1, again, I tried to kind of crack down on game design stuff, and it came down to a lot of cutting content that people were really excited for. And I'd say that is one of the biggest detriments of this being a community project, is that people get really attached to ideas and do not want to let them go, even if it is for the greater good.
Yeah.
I'm sure you two have seen kind of Mojang talking about their design process, where they like reiterate on things numerous times.
Yeah, like how some people are still held up on the name of Grimstone rather than Deep Slate.
Exactly, yeah, or like having to change like zombie piglins, or from
zombified piglins, but we're zombie pigmen.
I don't get why people why do people prefer pigmen over piglin? Piglin just seems more interesting, right? They aren't just upright pigs. They have like
I can tell you the answer. Nostalgia.
Oh,
nostalgia.
I will say I still call the zombie ones pigmen, and then piglins.
Yeah, it's a nice distinction. But anyhow, so you can see how nostalgic and angry people get over like Mojang changing even like the name of a block. Let alone changing a mob's design, if not removing it. I don't think Mojang's ever removed like a prominent mob in the game that that premiered.
Only things that like were like barely existent for like a single snapshot at best.
Yeah, exactly. So when we have Infernal Expansion running, and we have like mobs that spend months kind of in sort of brainstorming development, and then they're cut, people go apeshit.
Right? Absolutely.
And it really sucks because I don't like disappointing people. I really like to try and make IE as inclusive of everyone's like thoughts and ideas as possible. But it comes to a point where you kind of have to weigh the total quality of the project over individual kind of contributions. And it really sucks, and I hate to do it, but it is for the sake of making the mod as a whole better, basically.
Yeah, that's so. What was the most difficult part of creating IE, actually?
The most difficult part of creating it, are we talking the project itself, or the code?
I think in general, so like the most difficult part of the entire process of this.
Okay, I suppose I can pinpoint one thing that's been supremely difficult. The Magma Isles biome. If we're talking content that is still making it into the mod, the Magma Isles have gone through a lot of iterations.
Yeah.
It's been kind of hard because when I started IE, I had like kind of the main goal being the Glowstone Canyon, which I've completed. It's in the game now.
It's so
pretty
cool.
Exciting. I'm really happy with it. We could talk about that later though. And the Magma Isles. So it was mainly like expanding on glowstone and magma. And I kind of made the Magma Isles as a challenge to myself, because while I really liked glowstone to begin with, I don't like magma blocks in Minecraft. I think their texture is ugly. So it was kind of forcing myself to make a good biome out of a block I don't like.
I see.
Yeah. And with that came the Pyrano, which is kind of a porter menu of Pyrite and Rhino. It's a little Pokemon-y, I suppose.
It really does look like a Pokemon.
Well,
Go, Pyrano!
It used to look like a Pokemon. I'd say nowadays it's actually grown pretty well. Because originally it started life...
Hoglin.
It looked a lot like a Hoglin.
Yeah.
Eventually, through a lot of criticism and feedback and kind of brainstorming, we came up with a new design that I put together, where it has kind of a shovel for a horn now, and it is super cool and distinctive.
Okay.
Yeah. Mechanically, it's still pretty simplistic, but I think that's for the better. It's basically going to be a mountable mob, kind of like a horse that you can kind of control and move around. But if you feed it a special pepper, then it can blast off like a strider, unable to stop it.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
it's gonna... Yeah! So it's gonna be like a cool compromise between, do you want to control it, or do you want to make it move?
Rhino Rocket.
Rhino Rocket. And with its horn, rather than like a jump, you'll be able to attack with it. You'll be able to like mow people down.
Oh, yeah!
That's sick. Okay.
Like a car.
So
I wanna see Ravager?
that offers like a new
it's essentially
form
a
of
Ravager of sorts.
Yeah, that offers like a new way of PvP. Basically, like if you, what am I?
Grand
finally
Theft
have mounted
Rhino.
Grand Theft Rhino.
We can finally have mounted PvP, which is something I've always wanted.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like it's so hard to do that with the mounts that already exist for like striders and pigs and horses. Like you can't really do that, but
A bit sketchy.
if it makes more sense for the mount that you're riding to attack, then that's more of a viable option.
I would love to see
yeah.
like a player face off against like a player on a Pyrano face off against like a Ravager mount.
Yes, that is what I am most excited for, dude. I am so excited to see people take their Pyranos out of the Nether and bring them to like Illager raids and stuff. It's gonna be so cool.
Okay. This is kind of delving into the world of Quasilore, but what do you think is the Pyrano's origin? Like, is it actually a rhino? Is it like something that would converge on a rhino?
So, there are multiple theories for what the rhino kind of origin is for the Pyrano. The original intention behind it was that it would kind of be like rhinos were sort of taken to the Nether because they were being hunted to extinction in the overworld, and you know the Nether is very hot, kind of like a savanna. People aren't too fond of that these days. People are generally kind of negative towards kind of, well, people in the ancient times did it, kind of philosophy. So, a more popular theory that's arisen lately is having it so that the Pyronode is kind of a evolved hoglin of sorts, where it like a divergent evolution where it adapted to the heat, and its horns became kind of a crown shovel type deal. I have a lot of quasi lore for Infernal Expansion. I could talk about it all
Clearly.
Personally, I believe that they are actual rhinos, though, since they seem to be kind of like island dwarfed, right? You know, like how like they got actual like Ravager-sized rhinos from the overworld, or like maybe a rhino ancestor, threw them on the island, and then they got downsized so they could properly fit it.
Yeah, potentially. I quite like Infernal Expansion for that. It has the same kind of storytelling possibilities as vanilla Minecraft. You can imprint a lot of ideas onto it. For example, we have the Basalt Giant. He's like a giant stone dude. Now, officially, in quotation marks, he is a natural being. He's not a golem. They're naturally occurring creatures. They kill magma cubes, and they feed the magma cream to smolts, which are other creatures. Now, where did they come from? Did they naturally evolve in their stone bodies? Did they kind of create the stone bodies like mechs? Are they kind of golems? Who knows? But there's a lot you can do with that.
I don't know, man. All I know is that they yeet people with their feet, and that's pretty cool.
They love kicking magma cubes like they're footballs, and I love it. Very strong. They're crazy.
I can't stop imagining it wearing a football helmet. That's funny.
I actually did a thing where like I threw a magma cube, like an invincible one, in like a field of Basalt Giants, and I just saw them like kick it back and forth. It was great.
It's really good. You could make like a Infernal Expansion Rocket League with Basalt Giants.
Perfect.
Magma cubes.
Oh, that's actually
Perfect.
That'd be so cool. So you know how like people are basically it would be a mini game that you would have to rely on RNG to happen with, because
basically, like Salty Bet or something.
Yeah. That'd be really cool. It's like, oh, is this team gonna win or is this team gonna win? And then they just yeet like this very powerful magma cube that can't die, and then first one to make a goal wins.
Oh, what if it was all on ice too, so it could like slide into the goal?
Wouldn't that? Okay, so I'm assuming ice doesn't hurt those mobs. It doesn't hurt the magma cube, obviously, but
that's a good question. I don't think it does.
Okay.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually, here's a suggestion: slippery fire block of some kind. Fire ice.
Fire ice, yeah. You know, in the early days, we had a biome on the list called the Frostburnt Coves.
I feel like I remember that.
Yeah, it stuck around way longer than it needed to, because it was kind of doomed from the start. It wasn't very thought out. It didn't have much of a purpose.
Yeah.
Which I'm big on in biomes, but a certain community member wanted to really push for it, but it didn't work.
Not naming names, but
not naming names.
Come on,
you know,
get your head in the game, man.
Get your head in the game.
He is
He's
that
guy.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
Wait, did you guys both say that at the same time?
You're not that guy, pal.
You're not that guy, pal.
He ain't that guy.
You're not that guy,
He's
pal.
not that guy.
What is your most proud feature of the entire mod that either you have worked on or that someone else has worked on that you feel really proud of? And then what feature are you the least proud of that you think still needs like improvement?
Are we talking about features that are already implemented or planned features too?
Already implemented, so there's no spoilers or anything.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good question. I'd say on the whole, I think maybe I have the most regrets with the blind sight mod. I love the blind sight in concept. He's a little frog boy with like a stony body.
Right.
He attacks the glowsquitos. He hops around. Now, where he went wrong, I feel, is he's like a frog. He has a tongue that drops when you kill him. I never gave him a tongue on his model, and on his texture, it's a little like ambiguous. It's quite hard to fit the tongue in. to a model to make it seamless with like vanilla Minecraft kind of art style. But yeah, and the way it attacks is a little goofy, I suppose. We were kind of like unsure on if we should, on if it should insta-kill Glowskeetos or if it should like fight with them. They've been refined a lot just before Release 2 came out. Before they used to jump to their deaths, like jump into lava constantly.
Yeah.
It was quite funny. We changed it so that now they only jump if a Glowskeeto or a human is around, so they're not suicidal anymore. And they do have a kind of unique AI, but it's just basing it on either magma cubes or rabbits, two very like fiddly mob AI types.
Yeah.
They were so difficult to work with. The blind sight was like a nightmare to make. Basically, it took ages.
I feel like that would be a lot easier once they have frogs or something.
Yes, once Mojang like makes a template, then we can work from it. Like that's always really nice. Also, I guess like my other biggest kind of failing as a developer, the Luminous Effect is really wonderful. It illuminates you. It makes you glow as if you had Optifine on, and it leaves like a light trail behind entities. And you can shoot arrows that like have light trails behind them. It's really pretty. The developing of the Luminous Effect was absolutely nightmarish because it started out as kind of like an outline akin to glowing, except it didn't work through walls. But Minecraft's render engine is so fiddly. It took us so long to do it. So when we kind of eventually reformatted it, with the help of my dear Swan, Swan is an amazing Java developer.
Swan's a necromancer, I tell you.
Swan is a
uses
necromancer. If I'm Nekomaster, they're necromancer. They, in one day, I gave like a pitch for the rework. I was like, okay, the light follows you. Because I designed it in mind with, reducing lag as much as possible. And they executed it in like a day.
Can't believe it.
One of my favorite features, I know.
Magic, actual magic.
Swan, our beloved, thank you.
Definitely.
Swan, our beloved, thank you. In terms of my favorite feature, sorry if it's a little too broad for your tastes, but I just love the Glowstone Canyon aesthetic in general. It came out so pretty.
I honestly, biomes are probably one of my favorite thing in Minecraft, because like I do so much exploration in the game. Like I just travel. I just walk, and I walk for miles.
Honestly,
and one niche thing that I've recently figured out that I really like is transporting mobs and capturing mobs, collecting them. And so half of that is traveling with the mob, and you get to explore all these different biomes, and it's just so nice.
Yeah, dude, I am always so fond of adding biome mods to mod packs, because just the experience of going somewhere new, that is what I favor the most in Minecraft, and I feel that we've really accomplished something special with the canyon, where it's not just for aesthetic. Like, you go into because I have different philosophies for the overworld and the nether. The overworld is kind of like for funsies, that's for aesthetic purposes.
Yeah.
Right.
All the gameplay is relatively similar, you hunt animals, you get resources. The nether biomes have like specific goals. You go into the Basalt Deltas for Blackstone, and Iron, which we've added. Yes, you go to Crimson Forests to get food and trade with piglins. You go to the Warp Forest for safety and ender pearls, so on and so forth. And we've really designed the Glowstone Canyon with purpose in mind. It's very much designed as like kind of a safe haven biome where you can get your glow coke for fuel.
God damn it. It's glow coke.
Glow.
It was called glow coal originally, but that sounds stupider, I think.
Hold on, I gotta
oh my god.
Good shit. I see the light now.
You can kill blind sights for their tongues, for stews, and for the new weapon. Blackstone dwarfs drop golden apples, and they guard the loot of the bastion outposts. Decrepit left-behind structures from piglins when they try to colonize the canyon. Yeah, there's a lot to it. And glowsilk moss, which you can kill for the Luminous Potion and their Glow Silk deep underground. We've put so much work into making this biome feel necessary, and I'm very happy with it.
I'm telling you, for like a biome whose color scheme is based off of yellow and brown, you executed it really well.
It's really nice.
Thank you, dude. Thank you. I know some people aren't huge on the yellow and brown, but personally, I think it came out really well.
Yeah.
It feels very kind of like eerie, because you've got like the bright yellow fog, and then like kind of the dark sand, and you have the illuminating lights of the luminous fungus. And I gotta say,
I love the fungus that just detects you and then lights up.
Yes, another feature from our dear Swan our beloved. And I gotta say, have you guys ever gone into a Nether Fortress in the Glowstone Canyon?
I have yet to touch the mod
not yet.
officially, so...
Going into a Nether Fortress in the Glowstone Canyon, and you go down those corridors, and all you see at the end of the corridor is the thick golden fog. It is the most scary thing you can imagine. It's somehow scarier than if it was like dark, like in the Crimson Forest or something.
Damn.
It's really something. It's amazing.
This was the piss and shit update we needed all along.
True.
I have developed the piss and shit update. Please be great.
You heard it here, folks.
Official Nekomaster.
God damn it. Deonsu, I think we're gonna skip out on the fun bit that we had because Neko's already done our job for us.
Yeah.
What's the fun bit?
We were gonna ask you. We were going to pick 2 random IE features and ask you about them, but you seem to be very adamant about describing the features already. So we're good on that.
I don't mean to shill or anything.
I don't mean to shill or anything, but the mod's pretty good.
You should play it, guys.
You should play it. I'll leave a download in the description. Also, when I do a showcase, so.
Yes, can't wait, dude. Your videos are top notch.
Dude, I feel so. Okay, I'm gonna go on a little tangent. A lot of people have described me as like one of the last harbinger, not harbinger, the last folks who like actually do that style of, at least my style of mod showcasing. Like back in the day, like you know how people would go rough at it, just lay out the features and talk about them. That's kind of what I do nowadays, but like modernized. While then Deonsu, his content is sort of the newer age of mod showcasing, where it's like
it's very structured.
It's very structured. You have your footage that you record with each segment. You've been starting to do some bits in your content, which is really nice.
I wanted to do more of the feature.
I liked when I was the Chainsaw Man. Pretty neat.
Indeed. I gotta say that with my friends.
But have you ever considered experimenting with the more modern style, Talon?
No, I'm too lazy.
Oh, yeah, also doing the modern style is hellish on your mind. It takes me like a week to make one video.
Yeah, scripting is a nightmare.
I am horrible at remembering scripts and lyrics. That is just one thing about me.
Usually I just like read the script out in front of my... Like basically I record my audio separate from my video and just like read off the script.
For me, I lay out my showcase where I have a beginning and an end. And I will lay it out like each like recipe board and each feature is laid out where I will go in an order that makes sense to me at least. So with Farmer's Delight, for example, I went from like showing the knives first because that's kind of like the first thing you need, like a flint knife to get straw and for your stuff. And then I moved on to like more of the accessories like cabinets and whatnot. And from there moved on to straw things and then talked about food from there and so forth. But yeah, I have a very specific way I do things.
Yeah. I have to say, Talon, if you plan on going like feature by feature with IE, have you seen the full list of features?
No.
I
will
go to the
say
CurseForge page. It is gargantuan.
Oh shit.
You got a lot on your
Look,
plate,
okay,
dude.
so Farmer's Delight was 40 minutes long because half of it's the actual showcase and the other half is me and my dad playing with the mod.
I loved that. That was so cute.
The longest actual showcase has been Prehistoric Fauna. That's like 30 minutes or so, and that's the longest edited normal showcase that I've done. So I'm I'm afraid of how long that's gonna be. I might have to split it into 2 parts.
Aether mod destroyed me. I am never reviewing a mod like the Aether in like a year.
It was so long, but it was so good, dude. It was top quality.
It was nice.
It was really nice. It made me realize some like IE features are similar to the Aether features, like the new torches and stuff.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
That's you get to
We do
realize
have Aether
those
portals in IE, so.
Yeah.
Brr, 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 brr.
things. Oh, you should add. That would be hilarious if you added compat for that.
For the
Like if
Aether.
there's an updated 1.16.5 version of the Aether, and then you just add compatibility where it's like, oh, so you can make the Aether portal using the Glowstone.
Yeah, that has been on the table for like so long. In fact, Retam, our beloved, is a Aether developer. They added Dim and Dullstone to the tag.
Oh
for the Aether
shit, that's
portal. Yeah,
that's cool.
Like.
We have a red spy in the base, basically.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Amongst us all.
There is a Retam among the Aether developer team.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
You guys have grown so much since that first initial release, and like now, like
I know it's absolutely insane. We went from like
Really?
5 like inoffensive mobs to like 9 pretty great mobs. Great new biome, 2 music discs, like new weapons, foods, all that stuff. I'm so happy with how the mod has turned out.
I will say, what's funny is that I think you were talking about that you were going to be on the podcast, and Ludo messaged me, "Hey, can I be in one of the episodes?" I was like, "Hell yeah, we'll do an episode with Ludo Crypt, probably in like
Dude,
maybe for the 5th
yeah.
episode, but definitely we're gonna interview Ludo Crypt, which is gonna be fun."
Ludo's amazing. She has made so much music for so many mods. I'm sure you've probably played like half her tracks in your episodes, Diansu. It's she's so prolific.
Man, how many mods has she been in?
Save it for the episode. Save it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's.
I can't spoil myself. I can't spoil myself.
I'm not the man to.
You are
answer
not Ludo.
these
You are
questions.
Neko.
I am Neko. I'm not Ludo.
Ludicrous script.
Yep. I am helping her kind of conceptualize another mod actually, which you may see soonish.
Isn't
Pretty
that
cool.
one like backrooms-ish mod?
No. This is entirely new. This is
Save it. God damn it.
I'm just giving you a little teaser. We do a little trolling.
Yeah, I'll save the teaser in the. Don't worry. Okay. What else do you do besides Infernal Expansion, Infernal Studios, and Minecraft stuff? Like, what else do you do for your hobbies and whatnot?
Oh gosh. Honestly, it feels like Minecraft has kind of consumed my entire life within the past year.
You know,
Because
This is it.
because before all this, I used to like be completely different. I used to work on a little series called Nekomaster.
Oh.
In fact, if I showcase my Discord banner, you can actually see the logo I made for it. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
it's
probably
anime.
Sorry, I'm gonna hop in. I'm probably gonna put an image for video watchers who are watching. For audio listeners, would you like to describe it?
Yes, it's a logo in, oh my goodness, what's the font? It's like Gothic, New Times Gothic or something like that. I forget it. You can put a correction on the screen. The Neko is blue coloured. The Master is pink coloured. You got 2 halves of an energy blast, blue and pink on each side, and between all that you have the silhouettes of 4 different weapons. The blast being one of them, the kunai, of another character, a whip, and a kite-shaped sword. Yes. Basically, the series was going to be an animated / comic kind of dealy. I never really nailed down the format, but it was going to be an action series about 4 bounty hunters, a family, who have to save England from being taken over by a tyrannical robot man maker.
That sounds sick as fuck.
Yeah, thanks, dude. And they'd have to reconcile their differences as they kind of go forth and save the world. And you have lots of like crazy. It was inspired by like numerous series, like Mega Man X specifically, like Ruby, Dragon Ball, all that crazy good stuff. But I wanted kind of like the emotional maturity of something like, say, Steven Universe or what have you.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. It's kind of in limbo right now because, Minecraft has been on my brain for the past 14 months.
You got mine on the mind.
I have Minecraft, I have mines on the mind. Honestly, Minecraft is kind of like an infection.
It is, oh my god.
It took me over like one of the zombies from The Last of Us.
Any hobbies that I have nowadays, it's like, if it's not Minecraft, I feel uninspired or some shit.
Honestly, like, I've really been trying to continue developing Nekomaster, but I'm just feeling a bit uninspired with it right now. Probably primarily because it takes from, like, my own experiences as well. It's a very personal project to me. And with the coronavirus kind of crap going on, my life has been pretty uninspiring.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We got Minecraft. We got Minecraft.
We got Minecraft. I'll make a whole season of Nekomaster dedicated to the characters playing Minecraft.
We got Steve, and that's all we need.
We got Steve. Who needs Neko when you have Steve?
Honestly. Steve, our beloved.
Steve, our beloved. Alright. Not to get political or anything.
Okay, go on.
Yes?
I don't like how Mojang whitewashed Steve Minecraft. It's really weird. Like, in toys and merchandise and stuff, his skin is, like, several shades lighter than it is in-game.
Yeah, that is
really odd.
Now that I think about it, what the fuck?
Huh. The issue for me is that it just looks too sallow. It's like, he has jaundice, man.
Yeah. He has jaundice Steve.
Jaundice Steve?
Just doesn't look good.
My name's Steve. Steve Jaundice.
No, that's good. That's my new character.
I will say, the skin tone, like his skin tone is reminiscent of like, reminds me of like Islanders, that sort of shit. Like
I've seen people say it's like reminiscent of like a coal miner who has like kind of like brushed up skin and all that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, someone who doesn't see the sun too often. So like, I guess like you could say that the light skin tone in other promo material is like if he cleaned up, I guess. But I don't like that. I like, I don't know, man.
We like our tan Steves around these parts.
We like our tan Steves. I just think it looks better as a character design decision. That's all.
I was researching a bit over the Microfingers, and they kind of got the coloring a little bit off on other ones, but I noticed, is that an Alex zombie?
Alex zombie?
What?
Yeah, the mouth's like Alex's mouth.
I have not seen an Alex zombie before.
Huh. They seem to have like the colors a little bit off in some of them. Like the zombie swears a little bit too like yellow. I swear, the zombie's green is more like closer to a spruce green than this green.
They turn into trees.
Zombies are the trees. Boom.
Zombies
Minecraft
are the trees.
quasi-lore.
Zombie
Matt
tree.
Pat, new theory?
Hello. I mean, they're both green, so that could say something.
Hey, dude. These two things are tangentially related. They have to be the same.
Whoa!
I think the Nether's made out of Striders, actually.
Are Striders actually the origin of humans in Minecraft?
What? I don't know why, but humans evolving from Striders is so stupid.
Wow. Who knows, dude?
What other projects are Infernal Studios working on?
That's a good question, man. So, other projects we're working on. So, since we kind of expanded from being Infernal Expansion to Infernal Studios, it's not really registered with me too much because you kind of felt like, oh, business as normal, rebrand, whatever. But since rebranding, we've got like some fantastic new logos. I've learned how to make logo renders in Blender recently, so that's really exciting. And we are moving into new projects. Yes. So, as I'm sure you've seen, we released a port of a mod by Zoe, who is a Minecraft Abnormals member. It's called Second Chance. Yeah. The whole gimmick is that any attacks that would one-shot you at full health for, just under, they give you half a heart remaining. Your second chance if you didn't catch, like, a creeper hissing behind you or something. It's a forgiveness mechanic.
Okay.
And in the same vein, our Forge port adds one new thing. We add Coyote Time from Celeste, which is a mechanic that lets you, if you've recently walked off of a ledge, you can jump mid-air to reposition yourself. So, say for you're bridging across the Nether Ocean, hey, you slip? Hey, don't worry, just jump, and you should be good. I'm sure it works really well in conjunction with mods like Wall Jump. You could probably do a lot with it in terms of parkour. It's also very...
That sounds really neat.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's also highly customizable, so you can make it. You can have the second chance activate at any health. You can have it leave you with like a lot of health remaining instead of just half a heart. You can have Coyote Time, have a lot more lenience for how much time you have left to activate it. All that good stuff. We're very soon going to put out an update that lets you remove the health cap entirely for, MMO style mod packs and such.
Okay.
Yes. Beyond Second Chance, we have... why don't I reveal a new project that we have coming up?
Oh, first time on the podcast? Hold up. Okay.
Yeah.
Play the Delta opening chest name.
News.
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Okay. Infernal Studios' next project is called Mining Master.
Ooh.
Now, it's a fancy name, but it's a pretty simple mod, kind of like Second Chance. All it does, it adds 5 new enchanting ores to Minecraft, where basically, at any Y level between Y16 and Y48, there's 5 new ores that you can find. And when you find them, you can apply them to any of your tools or armor in a smithing table, and it gives you an enchantment. Pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Does it give you enchantments that already pre-exist in the game?
Yes.
Okay.
So the 5, I'll tell you one of the 5 new ores we're adding. It's called the Fire Ruby. And when you apply it, it can apply 3 different enchantments. It can apply flame to your bows. It can apply fire aspect to your sword, and it can apply fire protection to your armor.
Oh, so okay, so enchantments based off of consistency with like how
based
it works.
Off of consistent themes. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm assuming there would be like a water one too that adds like aqua affinity or respiration, and I don't know, just ideas.
Yeah.
Ideas.
Exactly. We don't have a water one yet. We might do that in Release 2 if we don't already do it in the first one. I could ask if Helion's feeling it. But we do add an Ice Sapphire, which lets you do frost walking. And we added 2 new enchantments. And when I say new, I mean taken from Minecraft Dungeons.
Oh, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft Dungeons on stream recently, so I'm excited to hear this.
Yeah, alright. 2 new enchantments are Freezing, which you can apply to your swords. They slow mobs down. And they do critical hits towards fire enemies, like blazes.
Oh, that's sick.
And we're planning for mod compatibility, so you can destroy Voline easier.
Voline destruction time.
Voline destruction time. And we're adding Leeching, which lets you steal health from your enemies when you attack them. Pretty cool stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do want to say, on my most recent stream of Minecraft Dungeons, I recently defeated the Heart of Ender, which is like the final boss of the base game.
Yes.
And I have a flail that has 2 enchants of leeching that I both upgraded to level 2. So every time I kill a dude, there's a chance that I heal like 32 health, which is about like a third of my health, which is awesome.
That's sick. Yeah, you can level up leeching for this. Get you some real nice health back. We've balanced it for PvP, so it won't make PvP a nightmare if you have leeching.
Right.
But otherwise, it's pretty nice. We're not entirely sure how to approach mod compatibility with other enchantments, honestly.
Okay.
Because in my research, a lot of enchantments in mods don't have like a very wide spread from like tools to weapons and such. They're either like very focused on weapons or not at all.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the themes are pretty like, they're kind of like hard to wrap into like one gem. Like, let's say we added an onyx, right? And the theme of the onyx was like does more damage to certain types of enemies.
Yeah.
There aren't really many enchantments in other mods that add like that kind of enchantment between multiple tools. And the whole point of the gems is that you can use the fire ruby across like a bow, your tools, your armor, and your weapon. You know,
right? It's more widespread.
It's like widespread. Yeah, we don't really want to be adding gems if they don't have like multiple applications across different tools. You know,
I will say one niche that has yet to be filled are chestplate and legging specific enchantments.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. Regarding future compatibility, actually, Minecraft Dungeons is a great base to take from, as you know. We did to take 2. There is the Dungeon Loot mod. I was thinking, do you reckon I should consider just making Mining Master compatible with that, and then taking those enchantments for gems? Or do you think it should be kind of an independent mod?
You should add compat with mods that make the most sense for your player base to use alongside either that mod or like other mods that you have that you are planning for compatibility with. So a good example would probably be Allurement from Abnormals. That'd be a good one to compat with. And if you think your player base is gonna also play with Dungeons loot, then you might as well.
Yeah, I guess it's focusing on what audience.
Or like if they decide, oh, I want that mod separately from those other mods that you have made, and put that with the Dungeons loot, then that would make sense too.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Neko, for joining us. We really appreciate it. It's been a good podcast. Pretty good.
Of course, dude. Yeah, anytime, man.
Anyways, the candles are starting to dim, and the sound of footsteps are near, meaning it's time for us to go.
But before we do, don't forget that you're also able to check the rest of our content on our channels.
I will say, I'm interrupting the outro because we're not supporting our podcast on Spotify or RSS anymore because we realize we have to pay for that, and we just don't have the money. So, it'll be a YouTube-only podcast. Woo!
Woo! Have you considered Bandcamp?
Bandcamp? No, I have not.
No, Bandcamp don't do podcasts, do they?
I don't think they do.
Fuck. Oopsie doopsie.
Alright, thanks for listening, guys. Have a good one.
This is your host, Deonzo. Out.
Bye-bye.